Hello there tubers. It's been a week since the last video, and that was of the engine and box all took out and the state of the chassis, but also as well showed that the front inside legs were alright, which is what I needed. Since then I've made a rotisserie jig, or whatever we call it, a rollover jig, all out of bits and pieces around the yard. Managed to put together, as you can see. Works like that. We've got a pinch bolt underneath, so as we mainly sort of done this so as that way I'll be able to spin it 180 degrees or put it on its side, and just be able to sort of like to do all the welding and everything to it. But I'm going to actually do another jig off of this as well, so as it has all the pickup points that I'm going to need. My main thing is, most of it's all rotten as a pair, but where the front rails running through there, I'm going to be using those. And what I've done is, I've done it so we've got a dead centre point off the front of the steering rack. So that's all bolted in. And then I've made the jig from that, and then I've done it so it runs through the tunnel right the way through, as you see. Now I've done this bracket so it picks up on the 3 main bolts there, which is the main one, and also the top gusset point there. I've gone over the top, that's proper full-on fit bar, onto the centre bar. So there's my centre point yet again, and then that goes right the way through to there. So basically it was scaffold pole, and also I think it's a water pole, so one's inside the other, so it's mega strong, and right the way through. A lot of people do jigs and they're bolted just to the rear and just to the front, but then you've got all the flex of the actual shell in the middle. Well, we've managed to get all that dead right. I'll show you my jig first before I go on any further. It's just something we've rustled up, but it really does work well. We've managed to be able to push it around the yard, wash it all down, wash all the rubbish and all that off of it. Right, as you see, so that's the jig. I'll take you on a little tour of what we've done. Right, first of all, we done the axle. Axle's all out now, so that's all gone. Prop shaft is out. Tank off. The rear floor is a little bit holy. So that's that. Obviously, the underneath is a little bit worse for wear. I'm going to do another video in the week of it upside down, which you start seeing how you can get your head around it and repair it. What we did do, there's so much flex in the shell, and the doors was the only thing keeping the shell together. I had these like swaging bars, and I managed to prise all the doors open, get all the actual door gaps right in the front as well, right. And then what I've done is screwed right the way through. These are shot, the doors are shot, even all the insides, so it wasn't like you're wasting the doors or anything. So screwed it all, so get all them gaps right. Put a nice little bit of strength in the shell, because obviously it's all going to be replaced. But first of all, I've got to do all the chassis inside. Look, oh, she's grim. There's not a lot in there. Dum 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 dum. A little bit naughty. Right, I'm going to do a jig where it comes up through the centre of the gear stick. So I'm going to weld it to the pole, so it comes up, and then I'm going to have a cross piece coming right the way through the car, and then picking up behind the car and in front of the car. I want a pick up point of how far this is and the height. Same on the front, so then that's all dead right. And then also what I'm going to do is have it so it comes off to the corners, but have a pointer on where the wings meet, the gap here, where where the door meets, so then I can't get anything wrong if anything's got to come apart. Same again, those there, so then that way I'll have all those pickup points. Gives me a good guide then. One of the main problems is I've got to do all the front, where the battery tray is, the inner pods, the scuttle is gone. All of it is a complete mess. But what my plan is to work on this area, get the strength back there, then the scuttle, obviously the outer pieces as well, the inner wings, whatever you want to call them, and then from there then work back. In the meanwhile, I'm going to have the main beam there. I'm going to put a full length one in, because inside there you've got 2 gearbox holes, so at least it gives me a chance to line them up, and then where the actual new seal comes to an end with the jacking points, that gives me a lot better reference when it comes to putting the inner seals on before the outer seals. So I'll have a lot more guidance really. And then this bit here obviously is all rotten, but this is like an upper chassis, and then you've got an L part of chassis there, so it gives me guidance with that, this part there, and then you've got this the back, I don't know, backbone, whatever you want to call it, where you've got an inner and an outer one, and it goes like a triangle. So that will be that part, obviously I'll have to sort out, but the more and more I can get through proper measurements, the easier it'll be. And then on the other side you've got the box part of it where the springs come through, so it'll give me a chance to get my head around those. And then where I've done the jig on the back with all the pickup points, I'll be able to work from them, so then that part there will be done. The whole floor pan comes in from underneath, so it's all a lot of work, but you break it down to bits and then we might be able to get there. The hump over the back, I think that's all right. The actual boot floor that's shot to pieces, but that's quite an easy and a cheap panel, the whole full boot floor, so we'll be doing that. What else? I've already managed to buy one door. Need to find another door. These are shot, the ones that are on here. That's it. And the other thing is obviously the bonnet, i.e. the front and also the 2 wings of it. That's the last thing to do, and also when it comes to the rear shell, is going to be the last thing to do. There's loads I can be getting on with. It could take months before I desperately need these parts. Yeah, as you can see, that's what used to be there, where the springs might go, but obviously it's all right away. But we like a challenge. So let's have a little guide on the front. As you can see, these are atrocious, but I'm hoping you can buy that as a complete box, this side and the other one, so then I can panel them in. But I've just got to get my head around doing it in the right order. The main chassis is all right, and the triangle parts there, the main bit running round, so I'm going to be working with them. These are salvageable, but in all fairness, there's only a little bit holding them on, so I'd rather put new ones on because they're quite cheap. That skull's a bit naughty, in it. Look at that. But it's only panels. Right, so from last time to here, it's very, very different. A lot less avocado, eh? Right, thanks a lot for watching. Subscribe, be a bit of a result. Get me numbers of people watching it up, and I'll get more and more done as I go along. And have a great weekend. Ta-ra.